Dr. Nichelle Haynes.
I'm Dr. Kristen Lassiter.
And we're Medical Mamas. This is your place to get evidence-based information about your reproductive mental health.
Meaning mental health in relation to reproductive hormone changes like pregnancy, postpartum, menopause, menstrual disorders, and infertility.
Today we're going to talk about our 5 postpartum hacks for sleep. Super important.
Definitely important.
Okay, first tip, I feel like this is the hardest one.
Just let it be.
It's going to be what it is.
It's going to be what it is. You can't control it.
Babies are not going to be on board with your plan.
Never.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's totally okay.
So when I talk about sleep with my patients, I always tell them, listen, I know your baby's not going to be on board with your plan. And that's just like, we're just going to have to be okay with that. So just adjusting your expectations around your sleep.
Yeah, you don't know what it's going to be like. It will probably change. I feel like babies are really good at, like, once you finally get into a routine, then they want to change it up. Just go with the flow.
A lot of the issues around sleep are more about what we think about it than how it actually is.
And expectations we put on it.
Right. So like some catastrophic thinking about, like, I'll never sleep again, or I'm going to be super grumpy if I don't sleep for a certain period of time, or, you know, whatever. Just kind of like, let it be what it is.
Just try not to control it. Try not to get attached to a certain way things are going to be or a certain routine. Let things go and see how they play out and adjust from there. The second thing is to nap when you can.
I just saying like, oh, I'll sleep when the baby sleeps is like really tough because there's so many other things that need to happen. But often that's like really going to be very beneficial for your overall mental health, your ability to actually do the things that you feel like you need to do around the house.
A lot of times when baby's napping, moms feel like, oh, okay, this is my opportunity to like get things done. But the best thing for your baby is you being mentally and physically well. And you can be mentally and physically well when you're getting adequate sleep. And so really, like, the best thing for your baby is for you to nap when your baby's napping too, or having somebody else, a partner there, who can watch your baby so that you can get a good nap in.
Other people can do the dishes.
Oh yeah, that's not your job.
No one else can nap for you. No one else can get sleep for you. So if you can delegate something and use that time to restore for yourself, to be able to show up, like, so good.
Absolutely.
Yes. One of the issues with naps, though, is you're napping during the day.
Yeah, so it's like bright and hard to fall asleep. Yeah, I mean, eye masks and blackout curtains are your friends.
I had an eye mask that I loved. It was like an eye mask and it had sound, like speakers in the ear, so I could play white noise and I wouldn't hear. It was the best. I love that. That mask, that was really good. Number 3?
Number 3 is think about doing shifts at night with your partner or with a doula or some other support person.
This can be done a lot of different ways, and it really depends, like, kind of on your situation. And some person might be a night owl, some person might be a morning person, and you can kind of adjust the shifts based on that.
So maybe one person takes the first half of the night, and maybe that person's usually the night owl, and they stay in the room with the baby so then they can attend to the baby, be there when the baby cries, feed the baby, change the baby, do all that fun stuff. And then the other person is in a totally different room and gets to have just this total uninterrupted sleep time. And it's really important for both people to get like 4 to 5 hours of uninterrupted sleep each night. That's really good for your brain.
If you're like in a more close area where you know, even if you're in separate spaces, you still hear white noise, earplugs, earbuds. As long as you know baby's okay with the other person, you can kind of drown out the sound that's going on over there with those methods and use that.
And if you're breastfeeding, this can still be a possibility. So either you can keep breastfeeding where your partner might just bring the baby into you so that you can just breastfeed and then you hand the baby back and partner does everything else. Or it could be that maybe you pump before it's your shift to take off or you're sleeping, and then your partner can give baby the breast milk that you already pumped.
Right. I think there's lots of different ways to do it. You know, donor breast milk, expressed milk from you before, formula, whatever needs to be done so that everyone gets sleep. Because there's a lot of misinformation that like, oh, you have to pump at a certain frequency to make sure that you establish a good supply. And yes, we want to try to be doing those sorts of things, but you can do it before your night shift.
And you're allowed to have that one, like, 6 hour, 5 hour break where you're not pumping and your milk supply can still be okay.
Of course, always listen to the recommendation of your clinicians, but I think it's totally possible in a lot of circumstances. Definitely. Number 4, sleep routine.
Trying to have a sleep routine for you and for your baby if possible. And so this is the thing that, your baby might throw off, but really trying to have the same thing that you're doing before bedtime for your baby, and then the same thing that you do for yourself before bedtime, so that your brain and baby's brain can know, okay, it's time for us to go to sleep.
I'll have patients be like, okay, I get my baby down to sleep and then I just jump right in bed. And I think that's fine. But a 5-minute investment in brushing your teeth, washing your face, doing a little bit of moisturizer or whatever you need to do before bed is kind of the same thing that you do with your baby to, like, you change them, you give them a bath, you read the book, and then you put them down, right? Like, it's a small investment in time. Those 5 minutes of sleep probably won't make that big of a difference, but it probably will make some difference in your brain kind of knowing it's time to settle down, it's time to go to sleep. It's that like cue, okay, time to sleep. So take care of yourself for a few minutes and then have your little routine. Go to bed. Yeah.
And then last but not least, number 5 is sleep training.
I think there's a misconception about sleep training that it has to be like sensationalized. Oh, you're with your baby 24/7, or you leave your baby throughout the entire night. And there's so many different things in between that you can do that, like, sleep training has a negative connotation, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give up the ideas that you have about how you want to parent and how you want to show up. That it may just mean some tweaks. So talk to your pediatrician about what options there are for you and what resources there are for you within the ideas that you have about how you want to parent.
Yeah, and at what age should you start sleep training, or when can you start some of the techniques of sleep training? Like doing a sleep routine for your baby is part of sleep training also. There's a great book called Healthy Sleep Habits, Happy Baby, or something like that. We'll put a link to it at the bottom. And that's a great option too. And they kind of go through different techniques or different types of sleep training, and really finding which one works best for you and feels most comfortable for you is the way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah. And sleep training isn't all at night, right? A lot of the principles are things that you do during the day to support sleep at night, so it's actually being more active during the day in your parenting. So don't fall for the trap that sleep training is like just this terrible thing that you can do. It really is tools that you can use to help your baby get better sleep, which means you get better sleep too.
Yeah. So those are our 5 postpartum hacks for sleeping with baby.
Let us know which one is helping you, which one's working for you. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, comment, subscribe. See you soon.
Bye.